Hey there, my name is Kimberly Inez Mays, and I demystify technology for small businesses and startups so that they can generate and nurture leads with marketing automation and AI. And the topic of today's video is, are you ready for AI first businesses? And hopefully the answer is yes. If you listen through to the whole thing, hopefully the answer will be yes. And I'll try to make it short and sweet because I know that a lot of our attention spans are really, really low. But I want to touch on a story that's come from Shopify. I'll tell you what the Shopify CEO said in terms of using AI. Now, we all knew it was coming. We all knew that AI is going to replace people, right? It's not a secret. It's not something that is a well kept thing. It's something that we knew is inevitable. It's happening. It's happened already, and it's going to happen some more. So basically, the Shopify CEO said that in order to open up a job requisition, in order to hire a human, the hiring manager and the hiring team must prove that the job cannot be done without AI. And that's really like blatant and not egregious, because depending on how you look at it, it could be egregious or it could be like, wow, yeah, about time, right? So it really depends on what lens you're looking at this from. But nonetheless, he made himself very, very clear that, they're not going to invest in having a human do something that a machine can do. Now, do I think that this is the right approach? Yes and no. I do believe in a middle ground. I do believe in human in the loop. And I do believe in that not everything can be done by AI yet. And those that you put in charge of identifying that should be experts, should be the expert decision makers that can go through each task or each line item in the job description and saying, hey, yeah, this will either benefit the team or not benefit the team, or we need a person or we don't need a person. I don't think every hiring manager is equipped to identify if that job can be done with AI or not. I think that is a dangerous gray area, and I would love to see how that plays out. However, nonetheless, it's happening. And if the CEO mandates it, pretty much it's what it is, So what does this mean for you? Whether you are an employee or a small business owner, it does mean that now businesses are going AI first, right? They're centering themselves around AI for better or for worse. Maybe they'll do it well, maybe they won't do it well, but it doesn't matter because it's happening. And that's what I tell people. It doesn't matter how you personally feel about what's happening or what the market is doing. All that matters is that you adapt, you be adaptable, because the markets aren't going to care about your feelings, whether it's the markets that you're applying for as an employee, or your customers or your competitors. Your competitors are definitely not going to sit on this technology. It doesn't really matter if you're in the solopreneur business, a startup, brick and mortar, retail, whatever. You're going to have to identify the tasks that can be automated, that can be delegated to AI, and try to adapt, because your competitors definitely will not. And I hate to say it, but you have to become more proficient in identifying those roles and those tasks that can or cannot be done, and be smart enough to make that decision, because not everything can be delegated to AI. And if you do it poorly, there's going to be repercussions, damaged reputation. You know, these models aren't perfect, and knowing what to choose and what not to choose and what to invest in, it takes time. So it's not something you can easily jump on, but it's not something that you can ignore either. So I do have some notes that I am going to just be referencing, just because I want to make sure that I am not leaving any of the good stuff out. But hopefully that makes sense, right? I try to front load this conversation with as much context as possible to give you kind of a bigger picture of where everything is going, no matter where you sit, whether you are looking for your next career, or you are looking to scale your business, or to even start a new one. You have to be adaptable. You have to be flexible. So going back to Shopify, yes, AI as the default solution. So his directive is that AI is the first candidate for any job. Now, I think that that is a little scary because it's like, okay, well, if it's the first candidate, somebody has to use that tool. Somebody who may or may not be good at identifying a good prompt or a good input is now tasked with building this thing or building the solution that they would have otherwise hired for. And like I said, not if unless he's upscaling his entire organization, which I need to do some deeper digging, it's something that is not going to happen very easily, and there's going to be some growing pains if that is the way they're going to go. And then number two, it says mandatory AI proficiency. So employees are expected to incorporate AI into their daily tasks with performance evaluations now including assessment of AI proficiency. And it reflects a cultural shift within Shopify where leveraging AI is considered essential for productivity and innovation. So now it's like it's a forced upskilling. And you can no longer say, hey, that's not my job, right? Because now it is your job. And even if you don't work at Shopify, even if you don't work for someone, you work for the people that you are looking to do business from, right? And if they are demanding, or if your business requires that of you to be able to identify opportunities to use AI, then that's what you're going to have to do. Otherwise, your competitors are going to do it as well. They're going to be able to produce or have better outputs because of the time saved. And, that's just how it is, really. But that's really interesting because it has an impact on hiring practices. So job descriptions and hiring processes are being refined to emphasize uniquely human skills such as adaptability, judgment, and creativity. The bar for human contributions has been raised significantly. So what does that mean? It means that although yes, it's going to cost jobs. And if people either retire, resign, or get terminated, those exact positions aren't going to come back as they previously were. And now, anybody that they do hire, not only do they need to be proficient in AI, but they have to be proficient in creativity, um, judgment, adaptability, and all of these other skills that weren't required of them before. So you can't just apply for something and then just be a task completer because a machine can do that automatically. And we haven't, it's not that automation is completely new or foreign to us. We've seen it decades, right? Even before I was born, that a machine can drill or screw in more screws than a human can by hand. And we've seen automation in marketing automation. We've seen automation in, manufacturing and so forth and so on. And yes, they did take away jobs, but people adapted. And so now this is another level of adaptation. But I think that this is another level because now professional services are going to be the ones that are mostly impacted. People who do things like virtual assistants or marketers, copywriters, and creatives now need to figure out, okay, well, how do I identify gaps and problems and use the tools that I have in order to fulfill that in a way that other people aren't. And whether you're an employee or whether you are a business owner, these are the things that need to be in the forefront of your mind. Not only is it important to be one of the first, but you have to be amongst the best. And so paying attention to things like this is really going to help. The broader context, the AI first hiring policy is part of a larger trend amongst tech companies investing heavily in artificial intelligence. There's a shift from viewing AI as a supplementary tool to make it an essential component of a business strategy. Now, I don't say this lightly that yes, people and jobs are going to be impacted. I don't think any of us can really afford to be comfortable, even if you are in business, even if you work for a business, because I think everybody is essentially a business owner. Whether you own a business or you work for one, you're still selling your time, your talents, your creativity, and your labor to somebody who's willing to pay for it. And the things that they now require of you are going to be different. Um, so that's something to just keep in mind. Keep in mind too. So how do we mitigate this? And there's a couple of other examples in my notes that I've looked up to, like IKEA, Salesforce, Duolingo, um, this company called Turnitin. I don't know what that is, but they're looking to reduce headcount by 20%. Klarna, Best Buy, IBM, and the list can go on and on. Like they're either looking to reduce headcount or prevent the hiring of or the creation of new positions that can be done with AI. So what could we do? Because now I think I've spooked everybody enough to the point where I don't want anybody to click this off thinking, okay, well, there's that. I'm not good enough or whatever. I need everybody to just take a deep breath, because I think everybody is adaptable and we can figure some stuff out. And if you're flexible and you're curious and you love learning, that's going to work more in your favor. So what can you do? Number one is to build your foundational skills, like your AI literacy, your data literacy, and your problem solving and creativity. So I know that for the past 2 weeks, people have been making themselves into action figures, and that's fun. Like, I don't say don't have fun with AI, because I have fun with AI all the time, right? But if that's the only thing you've done, you may want to do other things. You want to learn how large language models work. You want to learn how it arrives at the result of your prompt, what prompt engineering actually is, what natural language processing actually is. You want to learn that at least on a surface level, so that you be able to explain it to a client or explain it to an employer, or use it in your team and teach it back to your team, so now that they can use it more effectively in your business. So definitely learn that too. There's courses out there that can teach you. And I'm not anti-course, because I teach courses myself. But the thing with courses is that you need to make sure that your course is the course that you take is going to produce an actionable result. You shouldn't have to spend days and weeks learning something that you can't immediately apply. So the best way to learn, in my opinion, is YouTube University, getting out there, paying the $20 a month if you have to invest in like a Chat GPT, an OpenAI. That's the one that I would say invest in first. But there's other ones. Gemini is getting hot now. Copilot exists. Anthropic Claude, those exist as well. You have so many options to choose from. Pick one, and you can pick a couple, do the free plans on some, do the paid plans on others, but get in there, get your feet wet. Even if the output is not perfect, you can at least try to like get something out of it for your business, other than just creating an action figure, or other than just writing a little piece of copy, right? You want to make sure that you are remaining creative. So what is it every day that you do that you'd rather not be doing? And identify potential things to delegate to AI. And then once you delegate that, make sure that you then know how to prompt to get the result that you want. Do it one at a time. Don't try to delegate everything, because that's just a recipe for failure and you're going to get so mad at yourself. Just do one thing. Do one thing and then do that to completion, do that to satisfaction. Make that a part of your process. Make that a part of your everyday thing, and then build on it. Because when you do that, that is the best way to learn, in my opinion. Upskill through training, of course. We talked about that. Embrace adaptability. I talked about that too. Don't be closed off for things you don't understand. It's okay to be uncomfortable. Like sometimes I get uncomfortable by things that are coming out. I'm like, oh, I don't quite understand. But I said, okay, well, it's okay to not understand, but it's not okay to not try something. At least if you try it to get a result and you're a little bit there, that's a lot further than if you had never started at all. Start small. So I'm looking at my notes, but basically I've said everything that's in my notes already, but definitely start small, right? Especially if you're a business owner, especially if you have a team. You don't want to just blanket them with a new policy like, hey, we're doing everything with OpenAI now. So everything you've been doing, we now have to use AI, and here's a tool and you got to use it and you got to do this, and everything's going to be run by this technology. Don't do that. Start small. Identify one thing Get the implement it, tweak if you need to, and measure it. Did this work? What worked? What didn't work? And what could we now scale? What could we now build upon this? What is our next move? So don't try to build Rome in one day. Excuse me. Springtime allergies for me has been like insane. So I apologize if my voice comes and goes. But yeah, um, identify opportunities for efficiency. Like I said, that is going to be very important because you are the one who knows yourself, your company, your team, your business, whatever the case may be. You still use your brain, even though we have AI. Still use your brain. If you're seeing that, hey, things are taking a long time to complete, we're doing things manually where maybe we should be able to automate it so that we can use our brains elsewhere to provide services to our clients or customers, come up with different solutions that we're not bogged down in the minutia of things, then identify those opportunities and leverage external support. Obviously, there's a shameless plug for my business. So, if you need help with this, don't suffer in silence. Definitely let's have a consultation. So I do offer automation insight sessions where it's a one-on-one conversation or one-to-many conversations. If you want to bring your team, bring not the whole team, but maybe like one or two people, maybe max. But we can have an automation insight session. It's a free 30-minute call where we talk about what's working, what's not working, and where you want to see yourself in your business in 90 days. And then we talk about ways that I can support you. So definitely that is one solution, is to leverage outside help. Because let's face it, you're very busy. You don't have time to stay on top of these things. You don't have time to go in and out of platforms trying to figure out which one is the best for you. And sometimes an outsider, somebody external, can see things, see your blind spots where you can't see it, and then help you make those pivots in a smarter way. So those are the things that I wanted to say. Definitely data literacy, creative problem solving, adaptability, and strategic thinking are paramount in these times of AI first businesses. So if this is something that you're really, really interested in, let's have a conversation because I want to make sure that you are on the forefront of this new wave of AI first strategies and making sure that you feel comfortable. That is my number one thing out of all of this, is democratizing technology to where people feel comfortable enough to try things that are outside their comfort zone, outside your team's comfort zone, and outside of yeah, outside it, let's innovate and let's break some norms. So again, my name is Kimberly Inez Mays. That's all I got to say about that. Until next time, take care, be well, and stay adaptable, stay flexible. And yeah, video's over. Bye.